Most salespeople lose deals that they should have won. Not because the product was bad or because the price was too high, but because they didn't know how to close the deal. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to change that completely. I've been in sales for 4 years, and in the last 4 years, I have closed hundreds of deals, over hundreds of clients. I was able to make a lot of money out of it. But the way I could do that was through a specific and exact framework that I'm going to show you today. Trust me, I use it every time, and every time it works. And make sure to stay until the end, because the last point is the one that a lot of people will never tell you about. And it's actually the reason that most salespeople stay average in their career. Point number 1, mindset before close. Before I even give you any framework or any advice on how to close, we need to rewire exactly the way you think about closing deals. Most people approach closing like a completely separate interaction at the end of the conversation with the client. Well, it's not. The close actually starts the moment you begin speaking. Every question you ask and every pause you take, every time you decide to listen instead of talking, that is all part of the closing. By the time you actually ask for the sale to the client, it should feel like the most obvious decision in the world. So if you're struggling to close, the problem actually started 20 minutes ago when you began the conversation with the client. Remember, in sales, you analyze first, you listen before you talk, and then you take in all the points, so therefore you're ready at the end to strike the close. Point number 2, the discovery framework. The best closers are always the best listeners, because they are the ones that are able to get everything out of a conversation and use it to their advantage. Before you even think about presenting or selling your product, you need to understand these 3 things about your client. Number 1, what's their actual problem? Not the surface problem they tell you. The real one where you have to ask the right questions in order to get the real answers. Number 2, and very, very crucial, what has that problem cost them so far? And I don't just mean monetarily. It could be emotionally, and it could also be in time. When you're able to identify this exact point, you're actually able to extract a lot of information that would be useful for the client to know, okay, how can I solve this? Time equals money, and high emotions also equal stress. 2 things that every single client and every single entrepreneur in this world wants to avoid at all costs. And it is your job as the salesperson to actually make them feel that cost. That is even the only way that they're going to admit to the product, because that is one of the most important ways to actually control the discussion and lead them towards you. And number 3, very important to the close, what does their life look like when that problem is out of their way? What kind of benefits, what kind of profits, and what kind of peace can your solution, your product, your service, whatever it is that you're offering to them, bring them within 6 months' time once that specific problem, that specific pain point that they're currently having is out of the picture? Once you understand these 3 key points and you're actually able to implement them in order to extract all the relevant information that you need from your client, you're actually not just selling anymore. You are showing the client where he currently is and where he has potential to be in a couple of months by working with you. That is the exact way you're able to structure your conversation to close a deal. Point number 3, handling the conversation. Before you even get to the close with the client, you need to know exactly how to structure, approach, and navigate the entire conversation. This is a key mistake that I see a lot of salespeople do when they go into their conversations. They talk way too much. And I mean way too much. They take their service or their product and they're presenting every feature, every benefit, every single little detail that, to be honest, the client has no need to care about at that moment, because they have not built up that connection and that trust and filled in those gaps for the client where the client could actually look at the product and actually care. The irony of this is actually they talk themselves out of the sale without the client even having to say anything. So every time you feel the urge to just keep talking, stop and start asking questions instead. Don't even take it from me. Just try it on your next call. See the difference it makes in information intake when you are the one asking the questions and are gathering all the information. You manage to navigate the conversation in a completely different way. So in your next sales call, when you present your offer, just say, how does that sound to you? And just shut up and listen to anything that the client tells you. Point number 4, the actual close. Okay, say the client is happy. The conversation has gone well and they're interested. Now what? It is at this point that most salespeople get nervous and they start pushing too hard, or they just back off completely. So here's the framework that I use. 3 steps. Number 1, summarize their problems back to them in their own words. This shows you actually listened and you understood what they were telling you. This is very important because every client wants to feel heard at the end of the conversation, and most importantly, that you actually care for them. It builds trust and it builds connection. Number 2, connect your solution to their problem. Please don't make a generic pitch. Make it unique. Make it unique to their specific situation. And number 3, ask an assumptive question. Not,
would you like to move forward?
the only thing that invites is a no. Instead, control the conversation and direct it in the way you want. You go in and say, so, given everything that we've discussed, this is how we're gonna move forward. Does Tuesday or Wednesday work better for you? This makes you automatically assume the sale while still keeping control of the conversation, but also giving them a timeline. That timeline is their personal timeline. Now they feel they have a choice. They have a choice to go on Tuesday, or if they need some more time, they can go in on Wednesday with it. But when you have control of that conversation and recommend the following steps and the next steps of the process, that is exactly how you can control the entire narrative. Point number 5, objection handling. The biggest point that a lot of sales reps struggle with. I remember at the beginning when I started with sales, it was so difficult to handle objections. Every objection seemed valid. And the harder that I tried to actually fight that single objection that a client was giving me, the more I kept failing. Because I was trying to attack the objection directly, when all I should have been doing is reframing the entire argument and using it to my advantage. These 4 are the most common objections. I need to think about it, it's too expensive, I need to talk to my partner, and my favorite of all, now is not the right time. In general, there's many ways that you can tackle these objections, but the way that I found is you need a key structure for all of them. For every single one of them, your response follows the same structure. Acknowledge, ask, and answer. Whatever you do, never fight the objection and never dismiss it at all costs. Acknowledge it genuinely and ask a question to find the right concern that's underneath. Usually, an objection is put in place because there is a gap where there's information missing for the client. The client didn't get all the relevant information in order for him to decide on whether he wants this. For example, if they say they need to think about it, this is how you're supposed to approach it. I completely understand. Of course, this is a very important decision for you, so take as much time as you need. But just between us, could I just quickly ask you something? What is your main concern right now? And then just listen. You can navigate and direct that from any angle, no matter how they come back. Remember, no question is useless. So, at the beginning of the video, I have promised to tell you exactly the thing that most salespeople will never tell you and never talk about. The real reason why most salespeople can never close a deal to save their lives is not technique, it's not framework, and it's not the way they look. It's neediness. When you pressure and push so hard because you need that sale, the client, believe me, he feels it. It changes your tone, your energy, your body language. Everything around the client is screaming, he wants to shove this down your throat. Don't take their product. The most advantageous position that you can hold in a client meeting is the one of indifference of outcome. You don't care where this goes. To you, this is just another conversation. If it ends with a sale, great. And if nothing happens and the client decides to leave, then so be it. You'll just move on to your next meeting. No arrogance and no coldness. Just the confidence that you have the right product that you're gonna try and sell, and if this person doesn't take it, the next one will. One of the best things that I've ever heard was actually from Jordan Belfort. Yes, Jordan Belfort from Wolf of Wall Street. When he actually got asked one time in real life how to sell a pen, he actually started with a question. Well, why would I sell you this pen? Do you need this pen? Is this something you even want? I don't waste my time selling things to people that don't want them. And this is exactly the point. Way too many salespeople are trying to push a product or a service that a client may not even need, and then they're just losing their time. It's okay to lose deals sometimes off the table. The important thing is that you lose them, but still doing everything right down the framework to the structure, navigation of conversation, and the end to try and close the deal. If you do all of those correctly and you still lose the deal, that happens. Even the best salespeople in the world will lose deals, but at least they can confidently say that they have the right framework and the right approach. So remember, the moment you stop needing the sale, that's funnily enough where you're gonna close most of them. That's the thing that nobody tells you. So that's the framework, mindset, discovery, conversation, close, objection, and the one thing that nobody ever tells you. If this gave you any value, make sure to drop a comment and let me know which of these points you struggle the most. Believe me, I read every single one, and I would like to help you develop just the way that I have developed over the past couple of years. Subscribe, because this is just the start and a lot more is also coming. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.